Good afternoon, students, faculty, parents, PTA members, friends, and guest viewers here in KL and all around the world. I'd like to welcome you to the 8th grade Moving On ceremony for the class of 2024. Indeed, this is a much different day than in years past, but it is no less special. Normally, we would request you do not take photos, but today we're broadcasting virtually. Your child's slide will appear for about 4 seconds while one of the 8th grade teachers reads their names, so feel free to take as many photos of the screen as you like. Nevertheless, the entire ceremony will be recorded, so you can watch it later and share it with your family and friends. And we suggest that you turn your screen to speaker view. We'll now begin with our ceremony with the singing of the Malaysian national anthem, Negara Ku, performed by our 7th and 8th grade choir under the direction of Mr. Christensen, who also did the arrangement for this as well.
Negaraku, tanah tumpahnya darahku, rakyat hidup bersatu dan maju. Rahmat bahagia Tuhan kurniakan.
Thank you, Mr. Christensen and the 7th and 8th grade choir. Terima kasih, kami sangat bertuah berada di Malaysia. We are indeed lucky to live in this wonderful country. Today, we honor our 8th grade students as they make the symbolic passage from middle school to high school. And without any further ado, please welcome the class of 2024.
Omar Abu Jafar, Michaela Axelson, Muhammad Al-Naomi, Faris Al-Taibi, Yaliying An, Thomas Ariana Yakam, Ava Azar, William Barrett, Travis Barron, Maya Beck, Ria Bargava, Charlotte Bick, Livia Boot, Adam Bukris, Nam Bui, Zonghae Jo Kai, Brielle Campbell, Anish Carlson, Thaddeus Carroll, Meredith Cheng, Pulkit Chowdhury, Nidhi Chauhan. Elizabeth Ellie Choi. Hyoin Choi. Suin Choi. Songbin Choi. Katrina Cleveland. Jack Cool. Lucas Cool. Alix Kupien. Chloe Kupien. Zosia Samaras. Anne Dahling. Sophia Down. Shreya Dalawal. Rochelle Doel. Indy Dwandini. Camille Fairhurst. Carmen Faria. Maximus Flanagan. And I would like to invite Mrs. Tori McClanahan to continue the reading.
PAWesome Nanini Fu. Shunto Fujiwara. Gemma Gallagher. Oscar Galvin. Brendan Garrett. Sigrid Gartman. Tessel Gast. Facundo Riguera Nu. Pedro Guello Romero. Elisa Habig. Kairin Hafiz Azad. Jack Hamza. Jane Han. Jiwan Han. Luca Havas. Janyan Alice Ke. Kane Horton. Eric Hurst. Jaehoon Royce Huang. Ayman Iqbal. Sua Jiang. Ryan Jiang. Wanwu Jun. Heirin Jung. Miriam Kahood. Farhan Kaharuddin. Yujin Kang. Effie Karagadekli. Autumn K. Zishan Kirk. Katrina Kairul Rasman. Ryan G. Kim. Tae Yoon Kim. Taerin Irene Kim. Shubham Kumar. Nicole Lacayo. Senway Lai. Owen Learman. Huicio Lee. Rachel Lee. I would now like to invite Mr. Shefflin to continue the reading of the names.
KU, Emily Lee. Katrina Liao. Hugo Lindbergh. Ishan Lom. Louis Ma. Maria Malashik. Rowan McCallum. Lucas Mendoza. Marisha Mode Aziz. Renvir Mohi. Haroon Olana. Brandon Mose. Almira Nathania. Eva Nelson. Jade Keisha Tejas Octoman. Mingyung Olivia O. Pedro Ortola Villanueva. Nurjan Osman. Jonathan Padamatam. Hyman Terry Park. Jaywan Park. Jiwoo Linda Park. Junbyam Lewis Park. Wanhee Henry Park. Garanch Paul. Ava Peterson. Jaden Pettis. Anna Popovich. Ashton Reed. Lulua Rice-Thuis. Oscar Ross. Alicia Salim. Sarah Sampson. Liam Sassolini. Daniel Sazikin. Guglielmo Secchi. Aditi Seshadri. Hyunseo Shim. I would now like to invite Ms. Trina Kovaldik to continue reading names.
Yura Shinichi. Shenjay Singh. Rika Singh. Jimin Son. Claire Nahyung Song. Vaneska Straitova. Iram Suhail. Ellie Tan. Gregory Tan. Jitsa Tan. Sumya Tandon. Alexandra Tarasenko. Megan Teo. Katharina Shea Fachuk. David Talk. Paratosh Tong. Malik Tobasi. Esti Terran. Arthur Unwin. Alice Vergara Pinheiro. Ayush Vora. Sofia Vorobiev. Keith Wong. Rania Woodward. Carissa Zaviera. Muchin Michael Chiao. Lenning Xu. Zoe Xu. Effie Yuran. Kento Yokoyama. Shijin Yu. Shirar Yosef. Zahira Zahis Sham. Hayang Aring Zhang. Jumin Alan Zhang. Yushwin Jackie Zhou.
Thank you to our teacher readers, Mr. Durham, Ms. McClanahan, Mr. Shefflin, and Ms. Kovaldick. And might I add, 8th graders, you look very smart today. I'm sure you're all very dressed up at home watching this ceremony. So welcome officially to the moving on ceremony. It's now my pleasure to introduce our head of school, Mr. Rami Madani, to say a few words of congratulations to the class of 2024.
Hello, good afternoon, students, parents, faculty, and staff. It's so lovely to see you. What a pleasure to be today with you. And hello to grade 8. This is a special day for you. You are experts at being on Zoom calls. However, today is the first time for ISKL in its history to have a virtual grade 8 moving on ceremony. We are very proud and very mindful of how important this celebration is for you. It's a milestone in your journey as you are moving from middle school to high school. And you have done so much to be proud of. The time was challenging. You missed your teachers, you missed your friends, but you have made us very proud over the last few months. And we know that there is so much you will miss. You will miss the connections that you had with each other. You will miss the classrooms and the teachers you worked with for so many years. However, we know that you will look forward to being in a high school. I'm sure you will enjoy being more independent, have more choices. You will enjoy to have different relationships and connections. And guess what? Yes, you will have access to breads and beans. And whilst we know that Mr. Casey and Mr. Woodward will miss you, as well as the middle school faculty will miss you, We also know that the high school administration and myself, Mr. Farrington, Mr. Harwood, and the high school teachers, we are excited to seeing you all in August when you join us. For those who are leaving ISKL, we wish you the best. We know that you will be successful in your next learning journey because our middle school team have prepared you so well. Well done, everyone, and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Madani. You can imagine how challenging being a head of school would be in the best of times. But leading a school community like ISKL through a pandemic in your first year in the role takes not only a special leader, but a special person. Thank you, Mr. Madani, for all that you've done this past year, and especially in the last 10 weeks. We'll now have a choral selection performed by the middle school choir singing Stand By You by Rachel Platten under the direction of Mr. Christensen.
Hands, put your empty hands in mine. And scars, show me all the scars you hide. And hey, if your wings are broken, borrow mine so yours can open too. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you.
And no tears make kaleidoscopes in your eyes. And hurt, I know you're hurting, but so am I. And love, if your wings are broken, borrow mine so yours can open too.
'Cause I'm gonna stand by you. Even if we're breaking down, we can find a way to break through. Even if you can't find heaven, I'll walk through hell with you. Love, you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you. Even if we can't find heaven, I'm gonna stand by you. Even if you can't find heaven, I'll walk through hell with you. Love, you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you.
Yeah, you're all I never knew I needed. And the heart, sometimes it's unclear where it's beating. And love, if your wings are broken, we can break through those emotions too. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you. Oh, truth, I guess truth is what you believe in. And faith, I think faith is helping to reason.
And I know my love, if your wings are broken, borrow mine so yours can open too. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you. Even if we're breaking down, we can find a way to break through. Even if we can't find heaven, I'll walk through hell with you. Love, you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you. Even if we can't find heaven, I'm gonna stand by you. Even if we can't find heaven, I'll walk through hell with you. Love, you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you. I'll be your eyes, so yours can shine. And I'll be your arms, I'll be your steady satellite. And when you can't rise, well, I'll cry with you on hands and knees. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you. Even if we're breaking down, we can find a way to break through. Even if we can't find heaven, I'll walk through hell with you. Love, you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you. Even if we can't find heaven, I'm gonna stand by you. Even if we can't find heaven, I'll walk through hell with you. Love, you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you. Love, you're not alone.
Even if we can't find heaven,
'Cause I'm gonna stand by you.
Thank you to our 7th and 8th grade choir. That was beautiful. Now I would like to continue the ceremony with the presentation of the 8th grade Robert B. Gaw Award. I'd like to introduce a person who needs no introduction. Mr. Woodward, our middle school assistant principal, will now present this award.
Thank you so much, Mr. Casey. What a privilege to be here to be able to present the recipient of this year, the 2020 Grade 8 Robert B. Gaw Award. And you, class of 24, you hold a very special place in my heart. It's kind of been my first time as assistant principal seeing you go through and seeing all of the great things that you've done throughout all the times at ISKL. So I'm really privileged to get to talk to you for a couple moments. And this story's kind of broken up maybe into 3 sections. You might call them 3 little stories, or at least sections. The first part is some history. The Robert B. Gaw Award is the one award that we give at each grade level from grade 6 through 12. And it is the one award that goes back, well, older than all of you before you were born, older than many of your parents were even born, but not so old that it's before Mr. Casey was born. It goes back nearly 4 decades to 1981, when the PTA, the Parent Teacher Association, sponsored this. And a huge thank you to Ms. Najwa Tabasi and all the PTA representatives, including many of your moms and dads who have been so supportive of all the things that happen, including this Citizenship Award. I want to quote what this is about, because you say citizenship and you know we are all global citizens, because that's embedded in our mission. ISKL provides that exceptional education. What? For highly successful, spirited, socially responsible, global citizens. So we really could give this to each and every one of you. But the PTA set this out more than 4 decades ago because they want to make sure that it's worth providing an opportunity for students who might not get recognition in another way. And so we know in the middle school and deeply believe that recognition should be a number of things. It should be specific. It should be personal. It should be meaningful. And frequently it should be private. And we know that all of you have received those good news postcards if you've checked your mailbox, or if you've gotten it in your virtual mailbox as we've transitioned to continuous learning. And this one award that we offer to one student at each grade level is a special tradition at ISKL. So that's kind of the background. The second part is, what is it? Last year, we were in the Robert B. Gaw Theater. You were sitting up in the balcony, and you heard a little bit about this. I'm sure you remembered every single word. Just in case, or if you're among the 40 students who joined us this year, let me review what this Robert B. Gaw Citizenship Award is. The intent is to recognize students who might contribute to ISKL in a positive way, but may not have an opportunity to be recognized in other ways. And there's 4 criteria. The first criteria is it represents the international aspect of the school. He or she interacts in a positive way with and shows an appreciation for cultures other than his or her own. That's pretty important. We're in an international school. Second, well, courtesy and respect. Yeah, that's important. Not only to teachers and fellow students, but to staff and everyone that makes up our community. Third, positive attitude. And that's true both in class and in all those co-curricular, out-of-class projects and activities. And last, the 4th criteria. They're gracious at dealing with success and disappointment, because life has both highs and lows. The process that we go through as part of this is your teachers, class of 2024, nominate students. And we can have up to 100 nominations. Yes, many of you may never know how close you were to receiving this one recipient. The teachers have spoken very highly of you through the nominations because, as I said, so many of you could qualify. Then they long list who are the top at each grade level. And the teachers submit based on those 4 criteria to try to narrow down in the tiniest of way to the top couple that is shortlisted. And then the entire faculty, from your home group teacher to those who've coached you, then vote and try to choose just one, an impossible task, one recipient. And that word, vocabulary matters. Miss Peters would remind me of that. It's not a winner, it's a recipient. Just like the Academy Awards, we could give many winners, and this is one recipient. So that's the second part. Now, the best part. What a privilege and honor for me to get to announce this year's Robert B. Gaw recipient for the class of 2024 for grade 8 here in the year 2020. It's a testament to so many of you who've been nominated, you'll never know it, that you are continuing to give in citizenship. And this process is something that we hope you feel proud of, even if you're not the one recipient. In terms of this one recipient, a number of words come to mind when teachers describe this person. Committed, organized, enthusiastic, caring, culturally sensitive, empathetic are just among some of the words that teachers use. The humanities teacher says that this person is, quote, ready for any challenge that high school has to offer. And it's not because of natural ability, more so because of that one word, commitment. A word that shows up over and over and over again. That grit, determination, willingness to work hard, persist, overcome, commitment. Okay, so I know Mr. Bloyer, I know Ms. McClanahan, I know Mr. Shefflin, and Mr. Durham, you want to be very careful about the rubric here. So let's go through the criteria. First, international aspect, check. Somewhere between bilingual and trilingual, often serving as a translator for many school events, welcoming and connecting with a wide variety of students and parents and staff and faculty. Yes, this is citizenship at ISKL. Check on the first criteria. Second, courtesy and respect for our community, everyone. Yes, definitely another check. And I would also say that this recipient maybe even challenges us at what that's like. Instead of just thinking about courtesy and respect with the adjective of nice, it goes far beyond that. The forward-looking attributes that are so needed as a global citizen, as we know in this time and this place and the challenges that this world face, sometimes means that courtesy and respect is speaking truth to power, standing up for what you believe in, respecting so much in the rights of every individual that you call out injustices and call out wrongs to stand for what is right. Definite criteria there. Third one, positive, both in class and in co-curricular. Yep, a strong collaborator in classes. And it might be, Mr. Casey, a harder list to find that's more comprehensive of just about any student who's come through our middle school. Well, just this year, there was volleyball, soccer, basketball, MUN, touch rugby, drama, Stuco, the ISKL Youth Philharmonic Orchestra, Chinese, Japanese, strings, badminton, and I'm sorry, I'm sure I probably left a few things out for this spectacular individual. Gracious in dealing with success as well as disappointment, check, check, check. She has seen many, many successes, and we often see those on stage. We see that grace and quality. We see that elegance of drama. We see it from organizing not just the students, not just the refugees on the Refugee Sports Day, but also the teachers. And we also sometimes may not see it from the disappointments and the things that are outside of what we see on a day-to-day basis. Those challenges that are unique for all of us are exhibited in this phenomenal young woman. Though this is a citizenship award and not a leadership award, I do want to know just how strong that citizen leadership and servant leadership goes through this person. One teacher said, among my more than 2 decades of teaching middle school, I don't know that I've seen a middle school student with this level of leadership and citizenship. And no doubt that dedication to MUN could be a future diplomat. No doubt that when Mr. Bruce wanted to take the first trimester drama group even above and beyond what the expectations might be, she took the lead and took on the role of the bully, because that's what was needed in that drama class to be able to make the drama compelling. A citizen leader who makes everyone around her better. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to announce the 2020 recipient of the Robert B. Gaw Award, Rika Singh. Now, normally, there'd be a huge round of applause you'd come off the stage and we'd be able to shake your hand, Rika. But right now, we're all going to wave at the camera, and we're going to do our little nonverbals and do our virtual applauses as we thank Rika for how she's made us better. We're also at the end going to invite you to open the chat, not now, but at the end, so that we can congratulate Rika. And we look forward to, hopefully tomorrow, when you drop off your stuff, to congratulate you in person. Thank you. And now it's my privilege to be able to introduce the next section. This is a student-led component that was led by a number of our students. And if you're like me, you may want to have your tissues handy. No, some of you, most of you, almost all of you aren't going far. You're going to high school. But it does seem like a little goodbye. Please come back and visit us. And thank you to Rebecca Chan, the alumni who just graduated, for putting us together, and the group of dedicated 8th graders who made this video presentation possible. Thank you.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. See you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I would do, you were standing there by my side. And now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
I see you again.
We've come a long way,
yeah, we came a long way
from where we began.
You know, we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Let me tell you.
When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling stronger. What's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken. The love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach. So remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side. And now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
standing there by my side. And now you're gonna be with me for the last ride.
Thank you very much, Mr. Woodward, for that presentation. And students, our students have been juggling a lot these past several weeks. And in a flurry of activity over the last few days, the 8th grade class has somehow managed to put together that presentation that artistically represents their goodbye to middle school. I'd also like to special thanks to Rebecca Chan for her tech assistance in that process. So, the presentation of the class. I have the honor today to introduce the class of 2024 to their new principal, Mr. Farrington. And it seems only fitting that during this unprecedented time, we introduce this group in a Zoom meeting. While Zoom meetings may be a sign of the times, but they're by no means represent what we would rather be doing. I, for one, would rather be standing in the Robert B. Goff Theater on this steamy, rainy afternoon, looking at all 156 of you well-dressed students fidgeting restlessly in front of an audience of nearly 700 parents, teachers, and students. I'd want to personally welcome you to the stage, look you in the eye, shake your hand you a diploma of completion of middle school, which many of you would forget on the floor, and I would want to shake your parents' hand and congratulate them on raising such fine people. Students, I know you'd rather be looking forward to your big party tonight at the fancy hotel, taking photos with your friends and family, eating cupcakes, signing yearbooks, making summer plans, and getting ready for holiday travel. And parents, same could be said for you. Today is probably not how you envisioned it either, but I'm sure many emotions would remain the same, as you surely are filled with pride and a sense of satisfaction with your child's completion in middle school, and likely a little sadness that while your child may not yet be an adult, their childhood is definitely over, and they are high schoolers now. I know. Where did those last 3 years go? Didn't they just start 6th grade? But alas, this is how it is. And let us not dwell on what this year has not been, and take a moment and remember what it has been, and celebrate what our kids did this year. In doing so, I'd like to answer 2 fundamental questions for the benefit of our audience and the class of 2024's new principal next year, Mr. Farrington. Question number 1. Mr. Farrington, I'm sure you're wondering, who is the class of 2024? Well, when school began on August 13th, the class of 2024 began their final year. Already a fairly large class in their numbers, they continued to climb to 156 students, one of the largest we've ever had, comprised of 74 boys and 87 girls, representing about 30 nationalities from a vast variety of cultures and religions. And yet at their core, just middle school kids, looking forward to another year, hoping to succeed, wanting to belong, and coming to terms with the unwanted mantle of being role models for the younger students in middle school. Some of this class have been with us for only 1 year, and others have spent their entire life at ISKL. And some of you will graduate here, and others will leave in the weeks ahead. Normally, we would ask all of the participants to stand to be recognized by the year they joined ISKL. Well, this year, guess what? We will do it a little differently. Here are the students who joined us this year in 8th grade. Here are the students who joined us in 7th grade. Here are the students who joined us in 6th grade. Here are the students who joined us in 5th grade. Here are the students who joined us in 4th grade. Here are the students who joined us in 3rd grade. Here are the students who joined us in 2nd grade. Here are the students who joined us in 1st grade. And when you join us in 1st grade and stay all the way through, you become what's called a lifer. And this next group of 1st grade through prep reception is what we term the lifers, and this would be the largest lifer class we've ever had in the history of ISKL. Those of you who've joined us in prep senior. Those students who joined us in prep junior. And those students who joined us in prep reception. Wow. Well, we should have probably put their baby pictures in there or their pictures when they were in prep reception just to embarrass them a little bit. But regardless of when you joined ISKL, you'll all be finished with middle school today. And we wish you well on your next adventure, either here or elsewhere. And we hope you'll always remember fondly your time as part of this wonderful middle school community. To our leavers, jumpa lagi. We hope to see you again. Now, Mr. Farrington, as we continue on the vein of getting to know the class of 2024, you may be aware that the 8th grade classes can go through some adjustment periods from time to time. And every year they find a few ways to push our buttons. In this regard, the class of 2024 is quite typical. Yes, maybe a bit too much hanging around after school as socializing became a very popular ASA. A few more were consistently late to class. Certainly a fair number of the boys engaged in too much horseplay in the common area. And definitely many did too much talking in the assemblies. But in the end, these kids were doing their job of testing the limits. Every adolescent wants to find out where the boundaries lie, and this is how they learn to be an adult. They've learned many lessons this year, many in class and many among their peer group, and some were hard, but those were the ones that really mattered. They have emerged as a class that is kind, fun, and inclusive. They challenged the status quo, but always respectfully. And when they made mistakes, I can honestly say that they owned up, took responsibility, and never held a grudge for it. They grew a ton this year, and they have shown more and more leadership with each passing week. And special thanks to our StuCo, and in particular the leadership team of Rika, Carmen, Pulkit, Alicia, Sumia, Shreya, Ellie, and Ava for their wonderful example of service leadership, and all the members of StuCo for all the work that they did this year, organizing so many super fun activities and parties for us. The class of 2012 is an amazing group of kids, and they've made us proud this year. That's who this class is. Question number 2, Mr. Farrington, and perhaps the most important question of the day, is this class ready for the next step? Well, let me start by saying this was the one question I've been asked over and over for the past 10 weeks by concerned parents. Will my 8th grader be ready for high school? Will he be behind because of the lockdown MCO and the involvement in continuous learning? Well, in all honesty, I think this class may be the most ready of any class we've ever had. Let us review these 6 facts. Fact number 1, you were the first class to leave middle school where you have done 3 years of the student agency program. For the last 3 years, you have been supported, encouraged, and taught how to develop the drive and capacity to take initiative to pursue areas that mattered the most to you. The list of things that you have done is far too long to share, but I'm thrilled that many of you will continue in this vein as the first cohort to begin the Praxis program in high school. You all have become agents of your own learning, and this will be nurtured further in the years ahead. Fact number 2, you have been given more opportunities to be self-directed, self-regulated, and independent than any previous class. We introduced Win Time this year, which provided you time each day to complete work, seek help from teachers, pursue activities of interest when time allowed. These skills were put to the test with the ultimate time management and self-discipline challenge that have been thrust upon you this year with continuous learning. During the MCO, you learned a great deal about yourself. You learned how you learn best, how to self-monitor and manage time. You learned the art of pretend multitasking, where you should have been participating in your lessons, but instead you might have been chatting with your friends, watching a YouTube, and prepping for your next TikTok performance. Why is everything chrome? Just don't kid yourself. We knew what you were doing. The eyes tell all. Fact number 3, during your time in middle school, before the MCO, many of you had numerous opportunities to travel both locally and internationally on sports trips, Malaysia Week, ISTA, AMI, MUN. Yes, you may have missed out on the last 2.5 months in your last Malaysia Week, but hopefully the opportunities that came before the lockdown have played a big part in your development. Fact number 4, You've been taught by the best of the best in terms of faculty. You've received the most current, research-based, engaging, student-centered instruction from a faculty that cared so deeply for you, I don't think you could ever truly comprehend it. You've been learning music and band and strings and choir, and some of you in the ISKL Youth Orchestra. You've developed your stage presence in drama and dance classes and starred in numerous productions like the Zeusification of Romeo and Juliet, and most recently, Dance Interrupted. That was amazing. Many of you became fluent in French, and Spanish, and Mandarin. Many more became academically proficient in English as a second language, which is such an incredible accomplishment at this age. You became mathematical problem solvers and communicators of algebra, and geometry, statistics. And through classic literature like Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, you honed your skills of reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Well, a few of you are still working on the listening part. You learned to think like a scientist and test various hypotheses, and have had the widest range of election options we've ever offered, ranging from robotics to design tech, financial literacy, garden to kitchen, art mashup, and of course, you were pushed by a highly committed team to run, jump, throw, swim, and work as a team in these stunning new facilities on this amazing campus by your PE teachers. You got all we had to give. We planted every seed we could. Now let's see which ones take root and grow even more in high school. Can we all give your teachers a virtual whoop whoop for their dedication, passion, and patience this year? Fact number 5, and this is a difference maker. You got the chance to miss out. And I know what you're thinking. Give me a break, Mr. Casey. You're telling me that I'm lucky to have had all this happen in my 8th grade year? That I'm lucky to have missed out on so many fun things, Malaysia Week and parties and sports and end of year celebrations? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. I know it seems like you got the short end of the stick, and it's totally unfair. It is, and I feel it too. But here's the lesson that most kids your age don't learn until well into high school or even later in life. It's not fair because life is not fair. Nothing is guaranteed in life, and we're not entitled to take anything for granted. It's a hard lesson to learn, but I can tell you that you'll be better for having learned it now. Because here's the good part. Just about everything that you may have missed will come about again in one form or another. Every travel opportunity, every social opportunity, every sporting opportunity, every learning experience, they'll come again. But the next time it will be different because you will be different. You will appreciate it all that much more. And high school is going to provide the next round of opportunities for you. So now you know there's no better time than now to take advantage of all that's being offered in the years ahead. And the final one, fact number 6, and the last reason why you are the most ready class to move on, is that you have had the unique experience of being stuck at home for the last 2.5 months with your family. A blessing, a curse? You should probably ask your parents that. Regardless, you've spent an unprecedented amount of time with your family and may have taken care of your brothers and sisters, and maybe you've watched your parents struggle through this time of uncertainty. Maybe you supported loved ones in isolation far away. This entire situation has caused you to grow up just a little bit faster, and you have gained a new perspective of the world that others before you have not. Parents, we owe you a debt of gratitude for all the support that you have given your kids and us as educators. We couldn't have done it without your support. So students, I want you to turn right now and hug your parents. Their efforts through this pandemic has been nothing short of heroic. Well, that's it, Mr. Farrington. I rest my case. This is the most prepared group of 8th graders we have ever moved on from the middle school. I could tell you a lot more about the class of 2024, but honestly, you'll need to experience them for yourself. I know you'll come to love them as we have. They'll lift your spirits and they'll bend your rules. They'll soar in your classrooms and on your stages and sports fields. Now, Mr. Farrington, it's time for you and your team to take over and continue to help these wonderful kids become the adults that will make this world a better place. 4 years from now, you will address many of them with as much pride as I do today. Mr. Farrington, I now officially hand you the class of 2024 and would invite you to take the screen and say a few words of welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Casey. Well, if the track record holds, we are in for a fantastic year next year with you grade 8s, our grade 9 generation. My hat is tipped. My hat goes off to the fantastic work that the teachers have done with you. As proven, demonstrated in the previous 5 years that I've been lucky enough to be the high school principal here at ISKL. Our feeder school, the middle school, bringing you into grade 9. You are prepared, as Mr. Casey says. And to hear that you are actually more prepared than any previous grade 8 group coming into grade 9 next year, I am a lucky man, and our teachers are exceptionally lucky. Thank you to all the middle school faculty and staff and administration that have helped to put you in this position to be ready for grade 9 next year. Now, grade 9, grade 8 to grade 9, it is a threshold, it is a symbolic transition, but really, it's moving from one grade to the next, just like grade 7 to grade 8. Fear not. We are ready for you. We are excited. And I will let you know that I'm going to give you a little bit of homework over the summer. You recognize through ecology that there are different types of relationships. You might remember terminology such as mutualistic or symbiotic or parasitic. Well, the relationship that we have with you is a symbiotic relationship. You attend ISKL to get better for yourselves. And in turn, we look to you to build the culture at ISKL. We look toward you to impact through your contributions to make life better here. You create the climate that we enjoy at ISKL. So I'd like to send you away for the summer with your first high school homework assignment. I would like you to reflect on how your presence at school makes this place better for others. We're not going to think about maybe some of the things that you've done that doesn't make it so good. We're going to focus on how your physical presence makes ISKL better. Congratulations to the grade 8 class of this year, the class of 2024. In 4 years, we hope to be seeing you at the graduation ceremony. Congratulations. Welcome to high school.
Thank you, Mr. Farrington. I know these students will thrive in the high school regardless of where they may be. Before we wrap up, we have a special video from the middle school faculty directed by Ms. Palco in honor of the 8th grade. We'll play that now.
Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here, a celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on! It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here, a dedication to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon'
gonna celebrate and party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Yeah, yeah. Celebration. We gonna celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on! It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on! Let's celebrate. Come on now. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright, baby. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright.
What a perfect way to bring us to the end of our ceremony. But before we go, I'd like to propose a lemonade toast. Why lemonade? Because life just threw us a big bunch of lemons. So why not? Here's to the class of 2024, our new high school freshman class. Cheers to all of you. Congratulations, class of 2024. You're no longer middle schoolers. Yay!
Yay! Congratulations!
As you begin your celebrations at home, we'll email all 8th grade students a Flipgrid presentation with messages of congratulations from your teachers. So right now, we're going to allow you to unmute and give yourselves a shout out of congratulations either live or in chat. Stay safe and enjoy your break.
Congratulations!